Hi, Adhyayan.
It's good to finally catch hold of you.
Okay, how are you doing, Adhyayan?
I'm good. Just been a little caught up with my other films. The post production of my other films. I've been dubbing for a few things here and there, and just been prepping for my next film that I'm planning now. So a lot of good things, meeting a lot of good directors after Heeramandi. So just doing my rounds of the industry, man.
Oh, wow. Well, that must have been a crazy time because I know when we first spoke in May, everything was just so hectic and chaotic. And, like I'm sure the response you got was amazing.
It was. Sometimes in life, chaos is good. Sometimes in life, chaos makes you realize that you're probably on the right path. And
Hmm.
Hira Mandi for me was absolutely that. And I mean, it was even for someone like me to receive the kind of response and love that I did from my audiences and from a lot of people from my fraternity. I think it meant a lot to me because, I mean, as I've always spoken about my journey in this industry for the longest time, for the last 15 years. Validation is something that I've been running towards, and it's extremely important for an actor's confidence. And Hira Mandi reached out to so many people in the world. And, primarily, as I always said, that the show was about, women. It was a women-centric show. And to be able to, still be recognized in that pool of talent, I think that was a humongous achievement for me.
Well, I personally thought, in my personal opinion, I think your performance was by far my favorite in Heeramandi. And
Awesome.
yeah, I honestly mean that because, I wanted to see more of Zoravar. I hope we get to see him more in season two. But I just think that, the importance of Urdu dialect as well? Like,
Yeah.
it was a sheer delight to listen to you and Shekhar on screen because, oh my goodness, I just loved listening to the
Thank you.
Nuktas.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, it means the world, man. When you say something like this, and my whole perspective was that, I was in a little couple of doubts in my life. I said, would people say that my role is shorter than what it's supposed to be? But then my father always told me that it's not about the length of the role, but the strength of a role.
Hmm.
And, the show primarily opens up with Zoravar being sold by Sonakshi.
Yeah.
And the entire, a lot of the plot revolves around him,
Hmm.
and massive turnaround in plots are because of Zoravar, and of course his entire confrontation scene with Manisha ji and his. I also fortunately got to play Zulfikar, my father's younger version in the
Yeah.
show. So I mean, I had nothing but to be grateful about all these things at one point of my life because I was like, hey, nobody wanted to work with you for so many years, and today the one of the biggest and the finest filmmaker in the country
Mm.
decides to give you this massive opportunity. You can't be complaining or you can't be doubting the
No.
universe anymore, can you? And I was hopeful. I felt like for me, my success would be with Zoravar if people like yourself turned around and said, "Hey, I wish I could see more of you, man." And that for me, I think I got that so much post the show, and I was like, okay, maybe I think now that I feel like okay, the character has had some movement or has had some connect with the audiences that they want to see me more. I think that's good enough for me as an actor.
I think it was the impact you made on screen. Like, even if it was only in a few episodes, just that impact you had, like the emotional depth, like well,
Yeah,
actually, that was a personal favorite scene, like that whole lead up of Zoravar and Sabah's
yeah,
nikah, that lead
yeah.
up there. It was just like that emotional intensity was there between you and Malika Jan. And I mean, how was that scene for you?
I mean, it was a very surreal experience because I remember shooting for that scene with Sanjay sir. That was the first day of my. I was the first day I went on set. I had to shoot this scene, and we took about 8 days to film this scene because there is my entire song of Trisha Masoom Dil Hai Mera that we shot for 6 days, and then we shot for another 2 days for the scene with me and Manisha ji. So it was a beautiful experience because for me, I mean, at the first part of it, I was like, okay, I'm in a Sanjay Leela Bansali extravaganza right now. How the
Yeah.
hell did it happen? How the hell am I working with him? How is he sitting behind the monitor and directing me? And do I, even deserve to be here? And all those thoughts that came by. And then, of course, I went into some other world because that's exactly what Mr. Bansali is known for, creating these worlds that the actors can absolutely flow with.
Mm.
And I was lost, and I felt at one point of my life that my parents had, especially my father and my mother, of course, have prayed so hard for my work and my success in my life that I felt like my father came inside of me as a soul when I was doing the
Wow.
scene. And it sounds very stupid and filmy, but I've said it in my interviews. I said that line where he says कि हमारे खानदान पर इतना बड़ा इल्जाम लगाया है, आपने क्या सबूत है आपके पास कि हम आपकी औलाद हैं. That point where I have the arrogance, but I yet break down with the vulnerability, was the
Exactly.
most difficult shot in the scene. And that's exactly what Mr. Bansali actually, it was the moment of silence after I did that entire take. It was a one take shot.
Yeah.
And of course, working with Mr. Bansali, working for him to okay one take is a massive achievement for an actor itself, especially in a scene that tough where it just went silent and then everybody clapped and Mr. Bansali woke up and came and hugged me and then had tears in his eyes and kissed my hand. That validation was bigger than any award. Put all the awards put together for me. And then he called up my father and spoke to him about me. And I was like, what is even happening? And my father broke down on the phone with him.
Wow.
Because it was something my father has been, holding back his fears for the last so many years. Any father would, right? I mean, somebody who cares for his son would want this kind of, would love to hear this kind of validation and feel proud. And that's what he heard from Mr. Bansali and my mother, of course. They all broke down and stuff like that. And we believe in cherishing these moments and not always just think about the bigger picture. This entire moment, it was like I lived a lifetime. It actually took away the pain of all the 15 years that I was in the industry, not getting the kind of work or validation or the importance as an actor, whatever it is. I think that took away those 15 years of pain in me.
Amazing. Wow, that's so beautifully put, Adhyayan. Honestly, I actually, and that scene you mentioned, like that, yeah, I could hear the croak in your voice, like as he breaks down. It's like first he starts off like self-righteous and title, and then slowly you just see that layer tear away.
Yeah.
And then it's almost he's exposed. His soul is exposed in that scene.
Yeah. Exactly. It was exactly that scene, and it was really tough because I had to, for me, I told myself one thing very clearly. I said, out of everything that I'm doing in the show, this scene is going to be my life-changing moment with Mr. Bansali on set. If I don't deliver today, then I need to hang up my boots as an actor, because then I can't be crying foul about not getting an opportunity. And for me, even if I had just one scene in the show, it would have meant everything to me, But for me, honestly, this scene especially was life and death as a performer, and I had to give it my all, and I had to go down these depths of my failures and my pain and everything that I've been through in the last so many years of my life to be able to extract that breakdown that he has and shed those layers of Zoravar, the character, and yet Adhyayan Suman, the human being who's been going through so much, and then kind of interlaced both of them together and sort of portray the character on screen. So it was a tough moment for me. It seems like it's just a scene, but it's not just a scene.
No, I felt it.
It's a scene that's had a massive impact all over the world with people who have seen the show. And that's exactly what they've been talking about. Like, if you see that, of course, the show, of course, was highly spoken about, but this scene particularly was also spoken about the world. So you realize that it's not about the number of scenes you have. It's about that one scene that an actor gets, which the entire world talks about, So for me, it was that, honestly.
It was the scene, by far, it was the scene of the series for me. I've watched that scene a few times, and I genuinely, that was my personal favorite scene, because I just think that it just has everything in it. Like, like the way it's been written, the way it's been choreographed, the way it's been directed, everything. It's just perfect. That little, like, that space of, I don't know how, like 10 minutes.
Just having Richa perform the way she did in that particular scene too, where she comes. Where he's having this celebration and she enters his marriage or whatever it is, and
and he feels so embarrassed
and he looks at her and and she has this really sarcastic smile and this broken smile and this hurt and this pain, but yet she tries to keep up her thingy as a mujrewali and decides to go and perform, and while she's performing is when she breaks down. He slaps her, decides to throw her out, and when Manisha ji comes and says, we haven't taught our women to leave anything incomplete, go and complete the dance. That moment when she starts dancing and starts crying like a baby, I think that's just phenomenal for an actor to perform, like that and stuff. And of course, so all those things came into consideration. all those things motivated me, inspired me, because acting is all about reaction, and
Exactly. Yeah.
it all depends on how good your co-actor is and what
Exactly.
energy
Together.
he's
Yeah.
throwing at you. And I had to throw those energies back, whether it was Manisha ji or Nisha ji, they allowed me to be me, so I'll always be grateful to that.
I actually, yeah, no, that entire like that scene, like that, it's almost like a triangle. It's like
Yeah,
Najwa, Malika, Jan, and Zoravar.
yeah,
It's just perfect in sync. And
yeah.
actually, how did the journey of Heeramandi begin for you? Were you up in the mountains initially when you auditioned? I heard
I
about.
was in the mountains. I was actually celebrating for my parents' anniversary when I found out that Mr. Bansali was auditioning for Zoravar, and I get a call.
Mhm.
And I said, this is unbelievable, because the audition meant everything to me. Forget even thinking about getting the show, for God's sake.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I need to crack this. I need to do this. And I said, I'm in the mountains. Hello, I can't hear you right now. And I said, when does sir want to see it? And they said, well, 3:30 is the only window he's going to see that, because we have to lock it anyhow. And it was 12:30, and I was going towards the airport in Chandigarh. I was coming down the mountains from the Himachal. And I said, I don't have network. I don't know how to make this. I'm in my car or whatever it is. I said, give me still some time. So they said, we'll get back to you.
Mhm.
And then I thought to myself, I said, brother, uh, do the audition in the car and send it to him however you look. Because at the end of the day, if he's the kind of director who would probably, see what he has to see in your eyes. And if he likes you, he will give it to you. He doesn't need to see anything else, right? And I didn't want to let anybody down by them saying कि he's holidaying somewhere, so वो audition नहीं भेज पाया. So I stopped the car in the middle of the road, and I took the car on the corner, sorry, and then I sat there and I learned the 4 pages of the lines that were sent to me. I took out my camera, made a selfie test video of myself, and I sent it to them. I said, okay, there was no network. I took some network from the driver. I took little Wi-Fi hotspot from my dad. Somehow broke the auditions and sent it in 4 pieces to
Oh,
them,
wow.
to Shruti Mahajan. And unfortunately, when I came back to Bombay, I found out I didn't get the role.
Mhm.
And maybe if it was any other, and because it's happened to me, I have auditioned for a couple of roles before, not got them. I've still moved on, no big deal. It happens, it's part of an actor's journey. But Mr. Bansali has always been on everyone's bucket list, and to let go and not grab his film or not get his film was heartbreaking for me and my mother, because it was a dream for her. But my father says one thing, what's destined for you, no one can snatch that away from you. जो तुम्हारा लिखा है तकदीर में, वो तुम्हारे पास आना है. और वो चीज जो है 2 महीने बाद मेरे पास फिर से आई, when I got the phone call from Mr. Bansali's from Ms. Shruti Mahajan's office, saying that do you remember you had auditioned? I said, hold on, don't tell me this is for Zoravar's role. She's like, do not get excited right now, but quickly send another audition in your white kurta. Sir wants to see you in the afternoon. And that's how it happened. The next thing I knew, in the evening, I was called by Mr. Bansali's team. I was on the set. I was dressing up as Mr. Zoravar, and I was doing my whatever hair makeup. And next thing I know, I'm sitting on a throne next to Mr. Bansali, walking from darkness to light. My father used to always tell me that there will always be light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, Mr. Bansali honestly felt like that light coming out of the tunnel, looking at me. And he called up, Sudeep Chatterjee, Sudeep Da, and said, Sudeep Da, my cameraman, kaisa hai? Theek hai? And that's it. He said, Bacha, I'll see you tomorrow. So I said, sir, what do you mean you'll see me tomorrow? He says, I'll see you tomorrow. I said, am I doing the show? He just laughed. He patted my back. He said, I'll see you tomorrow on set. That's how I got the show. That's how the journey began. Quite unbelievable, honestly.
It's amazing, like, and I can see like when they say don't get too excited yet, but then you wanted to make sure, and then then when you finally realize that this is happening, that moment must have like just been so surreal.
Yeah, of course, for my parents and for me, and then for me to start. And this happened on Sunday. I started filming from Monday.
Wow.
So I didn't even get time to prepare or breathe,
I didn't even process what's happening.
I couldn't even process, and then the next thing you know, Mr. Bansali, as I said, was on call praising my work with my father. So a lot of things happened during that time, which was very, very important for my emotional well-being. Because I was breaking down at a point in my life after Ashram, which I did with Prakash Shah. I had signed a couple of films, but again, some of them didn't take off. Some of them weren't made well. Some of them are still stuck. So I was like, what the hell is going on here in my life? Yeah, like when are things ever going to open up for me, or are they even going to open up for me anymore? And then, of course, as we all know, universe has its own plan always.
Exactly.
So you got to trust the universe, right?
I know, like here we are speaking about the layers of Zoravar and young Zulfikar.
Yeah.
Actually, how do you like, when you go on set, like, is there like a certain thing you have to do to kind of get in the zone, like before shooting? Like, do you go
No, so
quiet?
I feel like it's very important for me to be whoever I am from the very core of who I am. Like it's very important to touch that base. You have to be very much in touch of who you are as a human being to be able to perform the way you want to in any character, any skin that you want to get into. I think I've always told myself to be very sincere in what I'm doing and be very grateful for the fact that 15 years, even though the journey has been up and down, there have been some prolific filmmakers with some great profiles who have still given me chances, whether it could be smaller chance or smaller roles or whatever it is. But what I made out of them is what mattered at the end of the day. I could have one scene. I had a very short role in Ashram, but again, Tinker Singh became a very popular character because of what I could bring in from my deep sense of sincerity. Because I know nothing else. I know no other way.
Yeah.
I've never taken myself too seriously. I don't take any of the initial stardom I received or I achieved when I was doing Raz, and I had all the successful songs. Till a point of today again being accepted by a large group of the audience with Heeramandi. What I did take seriously is my art. What I did take seriously is that I have to give it my all, and this place that I'm standing in today, I have to give it my all because there are hundreds of people who don't get this chance, thousands, not in lakhs, not even thousands. Today that I'm here, you just go there and give it your best and don't worry about anything else because the only thing in my hand, what I can do today is perform, and what the outcome of it is something that's not in my hands, right? So forget about that. A lot of my life I led with fear always कि अभी क्या होगा, अभी लोग accept करेंगे नहीं करेंगे, देखेंगे नहीं देखेंगे. But as time has progressed and a lot of wisdom has kicked in, I've realized it's not even in my control what I'm even fighting for. So just go there and go out there, work with the best of, and there's some great people I've worked with, some great friends I've made on set, and that's all that matters here to me.
Yeah, and I think that the word you use, sincere, that is so true. Like, I think that's why the audience has connected so much with you, is the performance was so sincere. And I genuinely felt that. And actually, speaking of performances, like, I mean, you create your own music, right?
Yeah.
Performing, you sing, you direct.
Yeah.
And so I've seen some of your music. I really do like Wanna Be With You is one of my favorites.
Which one?
Wanna Be With You.
Wanna Be With You.
That's a lovely song.
It's a lovely song. I came to the UK, I think a year and a half ago. I shot a couple of songs there. And Wanna Be With You was one of the songs that I filmed there. And again, it's just music is like therapeutic for me. It's passion, it's like meditation, it's something that helped me survive at a point of at my lowest point in my life when I wasn't getting any work. And I realized that I have some sense of passion towards music or direction or whatever it is, and I should possibly follow that passion till I start getting work as an actor. And then when I started making music videos, Mr. Prakash saw me and gave me Ashram, and then Ashram happened, other things happened, then Heeramandi happened, and I got back again into the reckoning with my work. And it's a very small learning that just my entire learning from this was just don't stop.
Exactly.
Because the day you stop is the day you give up. You have to sometimes, when the world doesn't give you anything on your fingertips or palms or whatever it is, you got to pave your own or carve your own niche or carve your own path here. And it can seldom get very scary here with people who say, "अरे तू actor तो अभी नहीं चला, अभी तू singer बन रहा है, क्या बोलेंगे लोग?" Never to listen to anybody. And you see, singing opened my acting doors again for me. If I hadn't taken that chance, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about Heeramandi today. So everything leads up to something.
Yeah,
you just got to keep moving. You just got to keep moving, keep hustling, keep figuring. No one's going to give you here anything for free.
Exactly.
This world is not where you eat free lunches. If they give you something, they want something back from you here. Yeah. So you have to make yourself powerful enough to not go out there and, beg anyone anything. Just you got to just be powerful enough for your own self. That's very important for me.
That's amazing. And yeah, no, I was like, you have such I didn't actually discover like you sang until like maybe very recently, because I knew you were an actor, but then I was like, wow, well, such a beautiful voice.
Thank you. I directed all my music videos
Yeah,
also.
I've
One of them
seen.
also directed by me. So hopefully I will be announcing my directorial debut this year.
Oh
I'm
wow.
also directing my first feature film now.
Oh wow.
Hopefully,
Looking
fingers
forward to
crossed.
that.
Yeah. I do want to tell stories. I do want to tell a lot of things in my life, and I think that again, direction is something that's been calling me for the longest time, and I've been, trying my hands at it through my music videos, and in fact, I've gained some sense of success through my music videos as well. They've done well for me, and I think it's about time that I tell, my side of the story to the world through my storytelling through my direction.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm looking forward to that, because I genuinely thought like the Mashuk, that video was just really
Mashuk, yeah, with
with the
Vivek Oberoi,
incorporation.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and I've noticed these videos are shot mostly in the UK, so we'll probably see you in the UK soon as well.
Yeah. I've studied. I've done my education from Millfield in Somerset in UK.
Oh, right, okay.
I've been here 5 years. I keep visiting there on and off. I do have a couple of friends, and I love visiting UK. It's fun.
Oh, cool. Well, do let me know. I'm in London, so if you're ever in
Oh,
London, do let me know.
I'm gonna hit you up next time, and then we're gonna catch up for coffee for sure.
Yes, definitely. And on a final note, I just wanted to ask you, what is the first film that made you fall in love with cinema?
The first film which ideally made me fall in love with cinema, to be very honest, is a film that was directed by Mr. Ashutosh Gowariker. The film was called Lagan.
Yeah.
And the film was directed, of course, by Mr. Gowariker, acted by Mr. Amir Khan. I think it's a film that's never been able to leave me or my memory or my mind yet. I don't think it ever will. I think it had some great performances, and again, the film was made, from the heart. It was a very sincere attempt in making a film like that, and I was, in fact, I was with Mr. Ashutosh Gowariker 3 weeks ago at his office, and I was telling him, sir, one of my primary reasons to become an actor was because I ended up watching Lagan, and I was so moved by your film. I was just so moved by what Mr. Amir Khan did in the film. It's also about the human triumph, the spirit, and how they fought back and how he did his thing. And I feel like there's so much that I have been through, which I can relate with Lagan always in my life. And I said I can never forget this film. Someday I hope I get to work with Mr. Ashutosh Gowariker as well. Someday.
Oh wow! Well, I look forward to that. And I look forward to your directorial debut as well. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for speaking with me today. It's been
Thank you so much. Such a wonderful conversation. We had our first conversation, hopefully not our last.
Yes.
And we will have our conversation soon. Hopefully in the UK. Hopefully in the UK someday.
Yes.
Because I do plan to shoot my directorial debut in UK, by the way. So hopefully
okay.
I'll be there for a long time, 50 days, 40 days. You never know. So yeah.
Oh, definitely. Then we'll definitely meet up then. I'll come and see you at your shoot.
Perfect. Thank you so much once again. You take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch up with you soon. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Take care. Bye. Take care.
Bye.